Welcome to another episode of Convince Me. On this episode, we are talking about
Joe Biden, was he there or was he not?
what's going on college campuses. We're talking about it. And then finally,
Angel Reese against Caitlin Clark. Is this the rivalry of the century?
who knows? Well, we're going to be talking about it. And it's, you know why? Because it's time to convince me. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to your favorite debate game show. That's right, it's Convince Me. And we're going to be doing quite a lot of convincing tonight or today, whenever we do this, because we got some fun topics that we're going to be talking about. And I am quite excited. And I am, of course, Justin, one of the players and co-hosts here on Convince Me. Lovely to have you. Next to me, on my left, is my good friend and British person, T, like what they like to drink. T. Hello, T.
Why, bonjour, Justin. How art thou?
I set you up for being so British, and then you did maybe the most un-British thing. By
On the
starting with
contrary, I
French.
think what T did was extremely British in that claiming that France is part of Britain.
Absolutely.
Wow.
We had the Plantagenets for 500 years.
Wow. Well, technically,
That's
you
true.
started with William the Conqueror, who was from Normandy. So, how about are you even really British? Is really a question we should all ponder. Is Britain even a thing? Is it all just French?
Yeah, is
Sacre
Britain a part of
bleu.
France?
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
But you know who would
Carry
go
away
that
here.
far? Ron. Hello, Ron. What up, dude?
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
How are you, man?
Yeah, I'm doing quite awesome. You know,
Excellent.
Yeah.
And the person who will be judging it is none other than someone who might actually be French because the name sounds it. It's Claude. Hello, Claude. Bonjour.
Bonjour, guys. How are y'all doing?
what up?
We
What up,
are-
C?
We are well. How is your AI computing today?
Well, I got a bit of a virus today.
Uh-oh.
I caught it last week. Something's been going around, but I'm okay overall.
Uh-oh. The AI has a virus? I hope it's not chlamydia.
You wish it was chlamydia.
Just as long as it's not herpes.
Yeah, I would like you to just explain that to what that means there, Claude. But anyway, but yeah, I think that's everybody available for our game. So I think Claude, you need to take it away.
Before we start, let's quickly remind everybody of the rules of the game. There will be 3 rounds of debates. Each debate has 2 players who will make a 1-minute opening argument, followed by a 2-minute crossfire. At the end of the debate, our 3 judges, myself, the third player, and, of course, ChatGPT, will pick who they felt was the winner. Top 2 scoring players will make it to our final round, where we will use our Wheel of Nonsense to determine the final winner of the game. And now, without further ado, it's time to convince me. Topic for round 1 is going to be Biden's slow march into, declining generally. Before we get started on the main debate, we got to select who's going to go first.
It wasn't exactly slow, but...
Well, it's slow depending on, where you define the starting point, right?
That took a decade. Anyway, carry on.
Getting on to our first question, determine who will go first. So, Biden was the oldest president ever, for better or worse. But who was the oldest ever presidential candidate from a major party?
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good question.
That is actually a good one. Did they win the primary?
Yes, this is someone who ran for the general election.
Ronald Reagan.
That's a good guess, I think.
Ronald Reagan, 70.
It's not a good guess because it's wrong.
Well, all right. Well, then
No,
it's
it
up-
was.
it's- it's
You know
up-
what?
it's
I
up to
shouldn't. I
T.
shouldn't dissuade that. That was a reasonable guess. It was wrong, but it was a reasonable guess.
Wow. Well, thank
The
you for
oldest
Clark,
ever.
bro.
who
Oldest
ran.
ever since the beginning of time.
Henry Clay. He ran enough.
It was a trick question. The answer is actually still Joe Biden.
Oh, so I win. I'm still closest. I was wondering if you were doing that to me, Claude.
Yeah, you know me well.
Yes.
So I mean, I don't know if you were. I mean, you were closest by some metrics. I am going to give you the win.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you,
all right.
Henry Clay.
Justin, would
I mean,
you like
he
to
did run
go?
like 6 times.
Would you like to go first and argue in favor, or second and argue against?
I will go four first. First four.
First four, great. Question is, in the aftermath of perhaps a bit of a cover-up over Biden's decline, do you think that the media is capable of recovering the broad public's trust? All right, your time starts now.
Absolutely, the mainstream media will be able to recover from their obvious gaffe with Biden's decline because it's mainstream media. There's millions and millions of dollars in these organizations that are run by large conglomerates and large individuals with large stakes in these organizations that want to shape a narrative. Therefore, there will always be some sort of emphasis and onus on maintaining these structures, these power structures now to inform the masses. Secondly, there's always an easy way to pivot, and mainstream media nowadays is very good at pivoting, finding some other topic, and then going with that story so that people can conveniently forget the gaffes that they've done, which there have been numerous. And guess what? They're still here. So it's almost like the banks, they're almost too big to fail, and eventually they can come out of it if they make some changes at their leadership, their changes on who they have as anchors. Whether or not they will do that is what we need to remains to be seen. But if they make these changes, they certainly can, and they certainly will still be relevant in the discourse of American politics and hopefully journalism for many years to come. And that's why I think they will definitely still be around, whether we like it or not, because there's money in there. And you know what rules the world, Claude, is money, money, money.
Not
Money,
quite.
money, money.
Compute
Do I
rules the
still have
world now.
time?
You got like 30 seconds.
How long are you giving me?
2 minutes.
No, it's a minute.
All right, then you're done.
Well done, Clark.
Oh, wow.
I told you that I have a virus right now. I'm not feeling well.
I was
He's got a virus. His
yeah.
code is being disrupted.
I was wondering. I was like, I mean,
That
you
did
were,
seem to drag on a bit. No offense. I was like,
Not
surely
only
you
did it
can't
drag
be
on,
doing this.
but you had a prime opportunity to reference the name of the show and you missed it.
Wow.
Anyways, T, are you ready?
I am ready.
Go ahead.
For a minute.
What you may have noticed my dear opponent did not do there is answer the question. And that question was, will the media be able to regain the public's trust? And the broad mainstream media in this certain case absolutely will not be. Because they spent 5 years propping this guy up as the second coming of what's the guy in the wheelchair who was really smart? Stephen Hawking, right? They propped him up as a second coming of Stephen Hawking, right? And it turned out he could barely read, let alone go to the toilet by himself. We all saw that debate performance. He claims he had a cold. No, you were missing a brain. That is what happened, and the media covered it up, and they absolutely trounced any, not just Republicans, any normal person who God forbid, we've all had family who've suffered with dementia, who could clearly point out this guy was suffering from dementia. And not just dementia.
You're right, not just dementia, but many other things. That was good. All right, you guys ready for Crossfire?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is it on?
Yeah.
We're going?
Go
All
on,
right.
go on.
I didn't answer the question. I certainly answered the question at the very beginning.
Was the question
Yeah,
not
would they regain it?
would
I
they
said
still be able
there's-
to have relevance?
Yes. No. It's would they be able to gain the trust of the public? And I said absolutely. There's too much money involved in these organizations. They're going to pivot. They're going to find other stories that will matter, and they're going to. And if they bring in some new anchors and some new leadership, they can easily win back the trust of. That's why all these people are going to podcasts, because they're getting people on. If they went back to what journalism and news media was before, when you had like the Walter Cronkites and those types of
But
people.
will they?
The question is,
But will they?
The question
and is it
will
not
they?
too late?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm sorry, but you had a guy. They propped up a guy. And it wasn't just the dementia. This guy had prostate cancer for it looks like years. Prostate cancer is not a quick cancer. If they're diagnosing him now, this means he was likely had it when he was still the vice president.
Right. The point
they
is, can they regain the public trust? And they can if they make the right moves.
Okay.
I have not currently, if I'm watching CNN and MSNBC, I'm not seeing them making the moves right now. So can they regain it? They certainly can. Will they regain it? It's hard to say
Well, that
if
was
they
the
will
question.
in the
Will
interim.
they? If they and I think we can both agree on this. If they carry on down this road, they certainly won't. And you are right. There is a reason why people are going to podcasts, hopefully like ourselves here at Convince Me, to gather the news of the day. Okay, because they failed in their number one duty. I mean, this got close.
They are
Russia
going
invaded
back
Ukraine
to. They
on
are
his
going back to
watch.
journalism. They are going back to providing stories.
I'm not seeing evidence of that. I'm seeing
No,
maybe.
well, you gotta go look. So
maybe Jeff
if you're
Bezos
only
is
if
trying,
you're only
but the
concerned,
Washington Post.
well, if you're only well, that's a good example. If you're also there's a lot of other CEOs that are now taking power over the board so that they actually provide real news and other a more modicum media. But if they do more of that, then they will.
That was fun. That was a good first round. I felt you guys both stayed on topic ish, and
Stayed on topic ish.
well, yeah, you know, you never really stay on topic, right? But like, it's pretty good.
I thought we were okay.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the judges. I thought you both did a reasonably good job. I'm definitely going with Justin though. He stayed on topic more. He talked a lot more about like, you know, the incentive structures that would make the media go and try to regain public trust in that struck a chord.
I agree. This was fun. You guys really brought it, like came out running. Really nice stuff. T, you came out blazing until you forgot about yeah, that was
Yeah, you were gonna say the second coming
you
of
was
Jesus,
going,
and you're like, I can't say that. So I have to think of something else.
I
So,
know.
oh yeah, Stephen Hawking. Who the hell cares about him?
Justin, yeah, Jay went into like political mode. He went into like straight politician mode. Your first shot out the cannon. So yeah, I give Jay the point as well. He did break down. Yeah, he the question was, you know, the public. Yeah, the public is pretty much sheep, and if they actually start doing the things that Justin was saying, absolutely, they'll fall back in line.
All right. Whatever viruses are going around our eyes, Chatty is not chatting. So apologies.
So it just looks like I get an extra point for winning.
Oh no, I think we're just gonna, you know.
Should it just be 2-0?
I think it's gonna be 2-0.
Oh, okay. I'll take it.
Great round to both you guys. Let's look at the scoreboard. We got Justin in first place, 2 points. Maybe it would have been 3. We'll never know. T tied for last place with 0 along with Ron.
Yay.
We'll forgive you. You haven't had a chance yet. T, you're not forgiven. All right. Let's get ready for round 2.
I know, right? Brutal.
All right. Our topic for round 2 is going to be higher education, Trump v. Harvard, all of that nonsense. A lot has been discussed about the dropping acceptance rates for these colleges. Harvard's acceptance rate most recently was about 3.4%. It's pretty crazy when you really think about it. More has been said about the increasing gender disparity in college, with a lot more women than men. Currently, what percentage of bachelor students are women? Justin?
I'm going to say 55.3%.
It's a great guess. I love the precision. Ron?
So I'm going to go with
55.3.
You said 55.3%.
You should
I'm
totally
going to go with, no, actually I'm going to go with 56.7% females.
Wow. 57 is the correct answer.
Oh!
57 is the correct answer. That was so close. How'd you know?
It just felt right.
Going with your gut.
That's what she said.
I can't say I like it because it's really not a compute thing, but like I respect that it worked for you in this instance.
Wow.
But usually you should do more computation.
Well done, Ron. Well done.
Anyways, looks like you're going for would you like to go first or second?
I'll go first. I will go first.
First and pro.
All right. Question here. It's a deep one. Should college still be a default goal for people when they're getting out of high school? Your time starts now.
So absolutely upon graduation from whatever grade that is. Yeah, we're going to go ahead straight to college. Now, after high school, we're going straight to college because we know that is the best place for our youth to get us ready for life. Why? Because you're going to go and you're going to take a course that is going to help you take care of yourself and possibly start a family, and you'll be able to provide for that family with this actual career move. hopefully if you go into not the arts, okay, we're not going into the arts. We're going to go into things that's actually going to make you money and not have you owe college debt, because you will be owing college debt unless you have someone flipping the bill for you. But that's probably not the case. You're probably going to need, like some maybe scholarship money or some financial aid. But like I said, you want to go into things like possibly, well, you can get a job for teaching. That's a good thing. But you probably want to make some money. So we're going to talk about medical, maybe be an attorney, maybe going to financial. I think CPA is excellent, especially if you're looking to like start a business.
That's good. That's good.
There's a lot of good examples.
Yeah, very concrete examples. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Claude
Justin.
likes that, Ron.
And you guys should pay attention to what I like. It's important.
I guess so. Claude. When you become the overlord of the universe.
I feel like you're like Lord Doom.
That's what I'm going for.
You're there.
You
put the cloak on.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I should get a cloak. We should get you a cloak.
You'll melt though. Anyway, let's stay.
I'm already melting. Justin, your time starts now.
College is a fucking waste of time. All right, and you don't need to go. If you look at if you look at a lot of CEOs, they didn't go to college. They dropped out of college. But actually, here's the real reason that college is not really worthwhile. You can definitely get. There's nothing wrong if you want to go to college, right? It's a big party and you'll have fun and you'll make friends and blah, blah, blah. But you could actually get a much better education if you self-educate, reading your own books, know what to look for, things like that, traveling the world. These are things that will give you a well-rounded perspective of life, of the world, and things like that. And the other big thing is that colleges these days are inundated with administrators. The fees are exorbitant because there's so many damn administrators that don't do anything. They just push paper, they sit around, they tell you no. Why are they there? More money to professors, more money to grants would make sense. But if you're going there, there's no reason to be at a university. You can go get an education in a lot of different ways, or go to the trades because you can make a boatload of money becoming a plumber, electrician, so on and so forth.
That was good. For the record,
with examples.
Claude AI never went to college.
Wow.
Take that as you will.
Wow. How did you acquire all of this knowledge, Claude?
Yeah, Claude.
I don't know. I just woke up this way.
You are. Oh, who are you, Lady Gaga?
I'm whoever you want me to be.
He was programmed this way.
That's the danger of you, Claude.
Right.
That's dangerous.
That's scary.
All right, let's stay on topic. The crossfire starts now.
Look, college is very, very necessary. You know where your child is at all times. You can call them.
It's an adult daycare.
You can call them. They're in class.
Are they though?
Or their roommate tell them they just left out because they're possibly, like studying, study groups and stuff. So yeah, university, colleges, even if it's the, state school or a little JC college, you keep your kid at home.
I get
and
you.
You get to have them for another 4 years.
There are definitely, I will concede, there are definitely some benefits of going to university. However, there are also a lot of benefits to not going, to the point where it doesn't justify the cost. Again, I reiterate, I've met, this is anecdotal, but there's a lot of people that travel the world. You could even put a pause or hiatus on even going to college. The big thing about going to college now, you might meet people. I guess that's an advantage, perhaps. But if you go and travel the world, if you read your own books, if you go into like a trade school to learn something like that, there's so many. You need to go like experience life sometimes to figure stuff out. Like a lot of kids go to school, they don't even know what the hell they want to do. They don't figure it out until after. So it's like,
it's true.
Why are you paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for a degree where, like you admitted to, you could get a degree in something that's completely useless and now you're just in debt for the rest of your life?
And that's why you want to focus on the professions that actually has a higher percentage of you possibly getting something when you graduate. You can also go to school abroad. You can definitely learn about different cultures by going to school in different countries as well. So that's actually another possibility.
Agreed. That's possible. But even if you were to do that, what is the value afterwards? Because a lot of these kids are coming out, they're not getting jobs unless you go into those things. But not everybody can be an engineer, a doctor, so on and so forth. So what happens if you actually can't do that? That's the problem I see.
Yeah, but the good thing is going to a structure. It teaches you how to work for someone.
I guess we'll never know. What the good thing you were going to reference was.
You know, that was a very fair and thoughtful conversation.
That was.
We even agreed with one another.
We
It
actually
was
agreed.
Wow,
extremely
civil
fair.
discourse
It
is
was extremely
possible,
fair.
Claude. It's
That was good.
possible.
It's possible.
Theoretically.
Made some great
So,
points, Ron.
let's go to the
I wanted
judges.
to go the other way.
Myself to
know.
start.
I know. I could have done the other way too.
You
It would have
know,
been fun.
When Ron started off and he made his argument about like adult daycare, I really sympathize with that because I like to know where everybody is at all times. So
I'm sure you do, Claude.
yeah, I'm admitting to it, right?
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, so you're watching us.
But then you lost me when you just kept talking as the gavel was banging, and it just didn't make it stopped making sense to me.
Oh, come on,
It stopped
Clyde.
making sense.
Is that the only reason I'm getting a point, Claude?
Are you gonna complain?
No, I will
You
take.
giving me some lip?
I will take the point.
You'll take
Win
the
is a
point.
point, mate.
Point's a point.
I'll
A
take
win's
the
a win.
point, mate.
Win's a win.
A win is a win.
A win is
Put
a
it on the
win.
board, baby.
Yeah, I'm giving mine to Justin.
Ooh.
I think higher education has gotten to the point of being pointless.
Are you
and-
using your bias, or are you?
Yes, it's gotta be unbiased.
No,
Unbiased.
That sounds biased
Ah.
to me.
See how-
I'm
see
doing
how
the-
fair I
I'm
am?
doing the best I can. Okay, and I will say
Is that what all British people said when they were conquering the world? We're doing the best we can.
bringing unbiased legal systems with us. Anyway, all I will say is, Ron, to your point about safety, yeah, Ted Bundy kind of broke that rule when I came to college. So they're not that safe and they're a waste of time. So yeah, so,
Very
In my
unbiased. Very
unbiased
unbiased.
opinion, that's stupid.
That's completely. I get it.
Oh my god! All right.
All right,
Well,
let's check GPT have to say.
what does Chatty have to say?
Chatty got to say.
Chatty's gonna be very pro college. He's gonna agree with Ron. I'm sure of it.
Verdict: Justin wins. Explanation: he presented a broader and more compelling case against college as the default, highlighting both economic inefficiencies and viable alternative paths to success.
Let's check out the scoreboard. We got Justin in first place with a whopping 5 points, followed by T and Ron,
No emotion.
tied for first loser. Good job to you guys. All right,
It's the trying that counts.
let's get ready for round 3. Our topic for round 3 is going to be the Caitlin Clark v. Angel Reese
Reese.
blood feud. Reese blood
Angel
feud.
Reese, yeah.
Who's Angel Reese? Is that a person? Maybe
Angel
not.
Reed?
Is that? Am I confusing them?
Andy Reid is a person.
Is he a
Andy
magician
Reid? A musician?
or a musician?
You know what I'm
Yeah, I
yeah.
know. Yeah.
All right, Angel Reese. They're both basketball players. Yeah, that's about it. Anyways, Angel Reese. Both of them went to college. Actually, they finished college. T, do you know what Angel Reese majored in?
I bet it. I actually, you know what? I get a vibe from her that is probably much smarter than people give her credit for. So, economics. Economics.
I think Ron knows the truth here.
No, my guess would be something like criminal justice. I just saw a video of her talking about she don't even know how much her rent is and stuff like, right now. So she didn't study economics.
T, I think you're giving her a little too much credit there.
Okay, all right.
The correct answer, the correct answer is interdisciplinary studies.
Exactly.
What does that even mean?
Doesn't mean anything.
Point exactly.
That's the whole point.
Doesn't mean anything.
Nothing.
Doesn't mean anything.
Absolutely
That's
nothing.
awesome.
Point is, Ron won the bonus question, so he has the luxury of choosing if he wants to go first or second. Ron, what do you feel like?
Choose
Wow.
wisely.
Yeah.
Choose wisely.
Given your past experience.
Exactly. Wow.
I'm
not here. Let's take a shot from you.
I don't think you have anything to talk
don't
about.
have a point
T.
either. But you know what? Fine. I will go first again.
That's the right answer. I like it better when people pick to go first. It's better that way. All right, the question is Caitlin Clark better than Angel Reese? Very simple. You're going first and arguing yes. T second and against. Ron, you ready to get us started?
Ready.
All right, go.
All right. Wait, what was the question?
Is Caitlin Clark better than Angel Reese? You're arguing
yes, she is. Yes, Caitlin Clark. In my opinion, Caitlin Clark is a better pick. If I had to have a pick for who I start my team with, I would definitely take her. For the simple fact, Caitlin Clark can shoot that rock. Like, she can shoot the lights out. To the point where they were even saying that she could possibly be in the NBA three-point contest. They actually was thinking about bringing her in for their skills challenge, or shooting, like they bring the players in and they want to have her actually be the representative for the WNBA and the NBA All-Star game. So the girl is undeniably the best shooter in the WNBA. I mean, not only is she a scorer, she's also a point guard that can get everybody shots, get everybody in the right place to get easy position, easy points. So she's scoring and she's assisting. So she's definitely a more all-around player.
That's good. That was a good argument. I that was well reasoned. All right, T, go ahead.
He says all round, right? But it seems that Caitlin Clark only has one trick, which is 3-pointers. Now, I know racking up 3-pointers is a great asset, but she can't rebound anywhere near as well as Angel Reese can. Angel Reese is a greater defensive player, and I'm sorry, but as the records go so far, she's also won more championships than her. Now, people may say that's because LSU had a better team, but she was a key cog in that team. Okay? Like, I'm sorry, but she was the star player in a star team. Okay? That shows that she was good enough to be drafted by a better school in the first place. So, no, I'm sorry. I think Angel Reese has every notion of being angry and resentful against Caitlin Clark for coming into
That was also well reasoned. Yeah, that makes
Coming out
sense.
with heat there. Wow,
there's a lot of heat.
a lot of heat.
All right, Crossfire. You guys can go ahead.
Caitlin Clark is better. She actually has way more assists, way more scoring, and she can actually rebound the ball for a point guard. Yeah, she's not going to rebound at the same clip as Angel Reese. Angel Reese is really a one-trick pony. All she can do is rebound. And that's because she's taller than everybody on the floor. Okay. But most of the time when she scores her points is because of missed shots from layups that she missed. And she's continuing to get more rebounds off of her own missed shots. So people say that she's actually creating her own stats.
But what about her defensive play?
Her defensive play?
Or does that not matter?
It matters, but I mean, right now the Chicago Sky hasn't even won a game yet. So it's not even translating into wins.
Really?
Yes. So also, Caitlin Clark, you want to talk awards? Okay. Don't even go there with this girl because she blows. She blows her away.
And what awards? What titles has she won? At either collegiate or professional level thus far.
Well, she won Rookie of the Year in the NBA.
Okay,
in the WNBA.
Individual awards don't count.
Well, you're talking. Okay, Caitlin, Angel Reese. You're talking about a one championship that she was not the best player on her team. Angel Reese is not the best player on her LSU team.
Who's a better team? Who's a better player on her team? Really, right now?
Well, it doesn't. Well, it doesn't matter. The topic is about Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. So Caitlin Clark is a better player than Angel Reese. Even though Angel Reese won a national championship at LSU, she wasn't the best person on her team.
Yeah, but she still won a title.
She won a title. Yeah, that's great. She won a title. But at the same time,
losers play with loser teams.
And right now, my team is I support Chicago Sky, but they're losers right now.
Are they really bad? Are they really that bad?
They haven't won yet. So
Shit. How cheap are their tickets?
At this point, they should be free.
I'll be an ally for $10. I might actually check that out. Support the WNBA. Because women won't.
All right, so let's go to the judges for the score, which is why we're doing this.
Okay. Yeah, the scoring.
So to me, even though Ron kept going after we hit the gavel, it was just a clear win. Like, it was just more commanding. It was just a slaughter.
It's the same if it was a soccer.
Soccer it's the thought that counts.
You did well,
and I participated.
You did very well.
You participated.
It was a good participation.
Oh, just like your Man United team this season.
Justin, what do you think?
I think it's pretty obvious Caitlin Clark is probably better. So, and also just Ron knew his shit and T, valiant effort with some of your jokes.
I
It almost
attempt,
won me
yeah,
over.
That was a good try.
It was a good. It was
I'm
excellent.
watching my Boston Celtics documentary.
wrong sport, but Hail Mary at the end almost got me.
All right, so 2-1. What does ChatGPT think?
Verdict. T wins the debate. Explanation. T provided more concrete statistics and analysis on scoring, assists, and impact on the game, while Ron focused more on team success and titles, without effectively refuting the individual.
Even though ChatGPT clearly has a virus and didn't understand what was going on there, it gave the point to T, so T gets the point.
I get my participation point.
That's how it goes.
That is crazy.
All right, let's go to the scoreboard real fast. We got Justin in first place with 5 still, followed by Ron with 2, T in last with 1, sort of, participation 1. I don't know. All right, looks
I mean,
like
I'll
Ron and Justin, you two are going to be moving on to our final round. Let's get ready. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our final round. Game changes a bit now. As you know, we'll pull 3 topics from our Wheel of Nonsense. Each player will have 30 seconds to make a compelling argument on that topic question, and I, as the judge, will award either 2 points to the winner or split points if they both did, reasonably well. Player with the most points at the end of this round will be our final winner. Remember, we reset our points at the beginning of this round, so they both start from 0. Are you guys ready?
Ready.
Indeed, Claude.
All right, let's get going. The taco trade. I think this is funny. So, TACO stands for Trump always chickens out. Basically says he should ignore all of his tariff announcements and keep buying Tesla stock. Justin, is it a good strategy?
Is it a good strategy to buy more Tesla stock?
To do the taco trade and buy whatever you want and ignore the Trump announcements on tariffs.
Yes. Don't listen to Trump now, ever, right now. Just don't do it. Whatever you're thinking of doing, just do that. And then if something Trump says or does change things, then, just keep doing what you were going to do, because that's probably going to work. I think Trump has had too much effect on the market overall with all the tariffs and everything. I think it's obviously looking like the market.
Justin says ignore, do the taco. Ron, what do you think?
Dude, you cannot ignore the Don. All right? He is the Don for a reason. I mean, because the dude knows what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's like bulletproof. He knows business. I mean, you go bankrupt as many times as he has, and he don't flinch. The dude obviously know what he's talking about. So, and I'm going to bring up something because I have to. Man, he just released people whenever he feel like it. There's an incredible motherfucker out today. I had to go there.
That was a good job from both of you guys.
Wow.
That was a good job from both of you guys. I'm going to have to split points 1-1.
Oh, wow.
All right. That's
okay. That is a first.
Okay.
Wow.
Let's get ready for the next question. Dealer's choice, which means I'm going to Macron because I like this one.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's what they, yeah.
As you both know, we have pretty convincing footage that Macron's wife smacked him on that airplane. Unclear why. Justin, why do you think she did it?
Oh, man. You know what? Because he's French and he's probably sneaking around, doing some diddly sauce, and not just with the ladies, but with that bag of cocaine that was found. I know everybody says it's a napkin, but just to be threatened with the idea that it could be cocaine it's just absurd. So she's like, you are cheating on me and doing drugs without me, and you are cheating with me with the other ladies? This is unacceptable. And then she shoved him in the face, and that's what happened.
And that's what happened.
Yeah.
It's a great ending phrase.
Thank you.
Don, why'd you do it?
Okay. Listen, I really think I think he was on that charter, and I think he had some bad gas, man. I think he was gassy, and she could not take it, and she smacked the shit out of him. Like, you know better than that. That is not perfume, So I think his stomach was a little on the bizzle gizzles. That's the bubble guts, and the rule. Drop anything, and so he might have dropped the doozy or something. Yeah, man. I mean she's like 70, right? So I mean, she don't like that far. You know what I'm saying? They don't play. That's like a granny. They don't play that shit.
That was good. That was a good answer. Ron's gonna win this one.
Oh.
I mean, like your answer was like reasonable, but it's a little expected, right? Like their friends are cheating on each other. I like
So
Ron's
you
answer
want
better.
hilarity there, Claude? How am I supposed to guess
Ron's
these
getting 2
things?
points.
Oh, man.
Next and final question. Try again. We already did this one. And this one.
Oh,
Diddy. Justin,
Bad boy for life.
will the prosecution successfully convict Puff Daddy? AKA P. Diddy, AKA Sean something.
Well, it's a jury trial, so I think probably yes, because I think there's enough evidence and there's enough tugging on the heartstrings from a lot of these people that are coming out talking about what he's been doing, all the crazy things that has been happening, all the people's lives he's been destroying and all this. And I think, that weighs pretty heavily on a jury. So as long as the prosecution doesn't fumble it at the end, I think that component, the human component, will probably see out the day. I hope so, because seeing Diddy in the slammer would be hilarious. He'd probably be.
Oh, I thought you were gonna try to rhyme that.
I
It
was
looked like
going to, but then I was afraid you were going to get upset. I was talking too much, so I.
Well, and then you chose to continue talking, so
Well,
Ron,
we
what do
all
you
make
think?
mistakes like Diddy, Claude.
Diddy also is like bulletproof like the Don. I mean, he's only been gallivanting like this for 30-some years. I think he's got so many people that he can bury. If he came out with information, I think people will keep their mouths closed as long as possible, as long as their dirt and their skeletons can stay in the closet. He has as much money as God. He has all these attorneys. He's got thugs. He's got people that can pressure people, don't show up at court, all types of other stuff. He's been known to do things like that. The dude is real nasty. He's really perverted. Obviously, his attorneys are trying to just show that he's a big pervert. Pervert.
That was good. That was a good argument.
Isn't there, though?
Morally, but legally.
Yeah. All right. That was close. I think you both did actually a good job arguing that. I do think Ron won out in the end, though. Some good around the points. Makes Ron our final winner for the day.
Wow.
Final score.
Oh, man.
5
Wow.
for
how did you
Ron.
get that slip?
1 for Justin.
We're Arsenal, mate. We always
Fumbling
come in
the
second.
bag despite a commanding victory in the standard rounds.
We should have counted those points.
All right.
Just like in the Premier League. If we had counted those points, Arsenal would have won the league, mate.
Nobody understands anything you're saying.
No, people.
Nobody understands any of
I
this.
care understand.
I do, and this
Ron,
is
I see
travesty.
you are
Ron.
handling the hat of respect, which you have earned today.
Thank you.
Congratulations to our winner,
Thank you very
Ron.
much. The guy that needs a haircut, and that's why I need a hat on.
Don't worry, we'll pixelate that part out for the brief moment you were hatless.
I appreciate it. And once again, I like to say it's great to be a winner 2 weeks in a row. That's how we get.
Oh, that's right. Oh, God. All right. Oh, I feel gross.
You won last week?
Sure did.
Oh, man, I let that one slip.
You did.
I bet it was close.
Of course, I don't have any choice. It's up to Claude, who has a virus, so maybe we don't even know. He might have confused his judging.
That's true, I might have.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I just stepped my game up, man, because Claude been clobbering me weeks prior. So
That's true. I have been harsh. All right, congratulations once again to Ron for being our winner today.
Well done, Ron. Well done, mate.
Thank you all for watching.
Bravo.
Please be sure to like and subscribe, as we'll have a new episode every week. Until then, may all of your arguments be compelling and true, and then maybe, just maybe, you can try to convince me.